Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Azwar Afawas bin Mokhtar. I'm the first presenter for my group, which is our group number 10. So our title is Healthy Lifestyle Practice among UniKL RCMP students. So for my part, I'm going to cover or explain to Madam Farah about Chapter 1 Introduction. They're going to cover a background of the study, problem statement, research objectives, research questions, and also lastly limitation of the study. Without further ado, let's start with background of our study. So actually maintaining a healthy lifestyle plays a vital role in ensuring both physical and also mental well-being. However, this is often easier said than done, especially for university students. Medical students in particular face many unique challenges. So we deal with intense schedules, 8 a.m. to maybe 8 p.m. and sleepless nights, long hours of studying, and high stress levels. So all of these things can lead to unhealthy habits such as poor diet, lack of physical activity, and even emotional burnout, especially during exam week. As future doctors, our own lifestyle choices will influence not just our health, but also how we guide our patients and serve as role models in the community in the future. That's why it is important for us to understand where we currently stand when it comes to health practices. Hence, this study aims to examine or evaluate the lifestyle habits of medical students at UniKL RCMP, identify the influencing factors, and also explore strategies to enhance their overall well-being. Moving on to the next slide, which is I'm going to talk about problem statement. Problem statement. So medical students are widely recognized as future healthcare professionals who are expected to not only promote but also, as I mentioned just now, become a model of healthy lifestyle behaviors. However, the demanding nature of medical education often places students under significant academic and also emotional stress, which may interfere with their ability to maintain such practices, which is the healthy lifestyle practices, like long hours of study, irregular schedules, clinical duties that we going to experience 2 months from now, and also high expectations can contribute to unhealthy habits. So at UniKL RCMP, these challenges are particularly relevant. Yet there is a noticeable lack of localized research that investigate the extent of healthy lifestyle practices among its medical student population. So while various studies have addressed health behaviors in university students globally, so few focus specifically on Malaysian medical students in private institutions where the environment and stressor may differ. So furthermore, the knowledge students possess about health living does not always can be translated into actual behavior. So it might remain unclear whether medical students at UniKL RCMP have sufficient or enough awareness about healthy lifestyle principles, whether they apply or might not apply this knowledge in their daily lives, and what specific barriers or even challenges that prevent them from doing so. Without such insights, any efforts to promote wellness and resilience among students may lack direction and also effectiveness. So the absence of this important data, crucial data, has created a gap in understanding and potentially hinders the development of evidence-based support system or interventions that tailored to the need of medical students. If these gaps are not addressed, so they could negatively impact not only the students' current well-being, but also their long-term health and professional performance. So next slide is other components of the introduction. There is including research objectives, research questions, and also limitation of the study. So let's start with research objectives. So our study was carried out with three main objectives. So the first one, to assess the knowledge of medical students regarding healthy lifestyle practices. Second, to evaluate their actual behaviors and also dietary intake of the medical students. And lastly, to identify if there is any barriers that prevent them from maintaining a healthy lifestyle. So together, all of these three objectives, will give us a clearer picture of what students know, what they do, and also what is stopping them from doing better. Moving on to research questions. So to guide the research, three key questions were developed, and the first one is, what is the level of knowledge among the medical students about healthy lifestyle practices? Second, what are their current behaviors and also dietary patterns? And the third, what barriers do they face in trying to maintain a healthy lifestyle? So all of these questions help us to structure, especially our survey for Google survey, and also doing the analysis. And lastly, limitations of the study. So every study actually has its limitation. Same goes to our study. So first one, our sample size is small, like 100 to 150 if I'm not mistaken of the sample. So it may not fully represent the entire student population. And second, the data itself is actually self-reported, which means it may be affected by bias or inaccuracies of the data. And the study is also limited to one institution, as we can see our title. It is UniKL, among UniKL RCMP students in Ipoh Perak lah. So which means the finding might not be applicable to students from other regions or other universities. So lastly, we did not dive deep into cultural or environmental factors that may influence students' lifestyle behaviors. That's all from my part. Before I end my presentation, I want to conclude my part. So this study emphasized the importance of understanding and supporting the health behaviors of medical students. If we want to advocate of health in our future careers, we must first start by taking care of ourselves, start taking care of our own well-being today. It has to start by today, and by identifying what we know, what we do, and what holds us back, we can work towards creating a healthier, more supportive environment for ourselves and also our friends. So that's all from me. Thank you, madam.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Fahim Azfar bin Aidi. I will present literature review part, which regarding to our research proposal titled Healthy Lifestyle Among RCMP Students. In this part, we're gonna discover and discuss on 5 subtopics regarding our literature review. When we talk about healthy lifestyle, it means a variety of definition. So in first subtopic, under general terms and definition, we're going to discuss on the definition or the basic means of healthy lifestyle. So basically, a healthy lifestyle means more than just avoiding illness. it refers to a consistent set of habits that promote physical, mental, and also social well-being. This idea is supported by the World Health Organization or WHO, which defines health as a state of complete physical, mental, and also social well-being, and not merely or solely the absence of disease or illness. Health literacy is a key part or a main part of a healthy lifestyle. It means the ability to understand and practice all the health related information to make a right and a good decision in their life. So for students, this is a very important and crucial part because it directly affects their mental health and also their quality of lives. However, some studies argue that awareness alone is not enough. To truly practice a healthy lifestyle, students or people in general need to have a good self-esteem and have a good support system because without this, they may struggle to apply their knowledge in daily life. There is also a study that lists the main parts of a healthy lifestyle, which is balanced nutrition, have a regular exercise, practice a good and enough sleep cycle. Also, they need to have a good stress management, and also they need to avoid harmful habits like smoking and also alcohol. These are crucial for medical student or student in general who have faced high academic stress or academic pressure in their study journey. Alright, furthermore, we're going to discuss on the second subtopic under title Types and Example of Healthy Lifestyle Practice. When we talk about healthy practice, we can include a lot of activity and also program that can be done to gain a healthy body physically and mentally. For example, we can practice physical activity, we can apply a proper nutrition, we can get enough sleep, maintain mental well-being care, and also we need to avoid from using risky substances and also apply behavior like smoking and also drinking alcohol. But sadly, nowadays, many students neglected these very important things. For instance, in one study, they are stated that they found that only 10.7% of students at Lumbinai Medical College exercise regularly. This shows a very big gap between knowing what's good and actually doing it. Furthermore, when it comes to nutrition, the same study said almost 80% of students didn't eat enough fruits and vegetables. And there is also another study that conducted at the US that showed high sodium intake and low vitamin D levels among students. Other than that, we can talk about sleep habit. Sleep is also a big issue. More than half of the students had sleep problems, mainly due to the academic pressure. So the lack of sleep can harm their memory and also their brain function. Even though students know the risk, smoking and alcohol still a common thing among the students. Why we can see there is high usage of smoking and also alcohol because it closely related to how students manage and also cope their stress, but in inefficiently way. In one study stated that students tend to become smoker and alcoholism because by taking this thing can help relieve their stress, but it proved it only lasts temporarily. There is also a study that found a link between unhealthy habits and mental health issues like anxiety and also depression. This highlighted that students with low self-esteem and weak social support are more likely to adopt unhealthy practice lifestyle even if they are aware of the consequences compared to students or to people that have a good self-esteem and good support system.
Moving on to the current situation and policies in place, we look at both a global perspective and a zoom in on Malaysia. So as highlighted in our first point, the past few decades has brought about significant generational shift, largely driven by the rise of the digital technology and also internet. This has had a profound impact on how different age groups perceive health. Interestingly, recent research as cited by Sassani and colleagues in 2025 suggests that younger generation, particularly Gen Z and Generation Alpha, exhibit a greater awareness and openness when it comes to discussing mental health compared to older generation. This increased comfort level could be linked to their experience during major global events like COVID-19 pandemic, which has brought mental well-being into sharper focus. We're also seeing a broader trend of heightened health awareness among millennials and Generation Z who are increasingly embracing a holistic view of their lifestyle choices. However, the digital native status of this younger generation with their heavy reliance on the internet and social media for health information present a double-edged sword. Their information-seeking behavior has evolved from Dr. Google era of millennial to Gen Z engagement with platforms like Dr. TikTok, as Brazil noted in 2025. So while this provide easy access to health-related content, it can also raise a concern about the potential for misinformation and the development of misconceptions. Critical evaluation of online health information is therefore becoming increasingly important. So therefore, in response to these evolving dynamics, numerous policies and initiatives have been implemented worldwide to standardize and improve public health knowledge. These range from targeted health campaigns aimed at youth, addressing the crucial issues like mental health, substance abuse, and sexual as well as reproductive health to broader efforts in preventing both non-communicable and communicable disease. Organizations like WHO and UNICEF are at the forefront of this with the initiatives such as anti-stigma campaigns, World Autism Awareness Day, and the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. So the WHO Annual World Health Day also serves as a global platform to emphasize the relevant health topic for all segments of society. Now let's shift our focus to the situation here in Malaysia. So the Malaysian healthcare landscape is currently undergoing significant reform with the aim of improving the overall health and well-being of the population. A key development is the Ministry of Health recent Health White Paper or HWP released in 2024. This outlines a long-term strategy for our national health system, placing a strong emphasis on the strengthening preventive health services and health promotion initiative. So a central focus is on the strengthening preventive service, shifting the paradigm from curative to proactive care. So HWP aims to ensure equitable healthcare access for all communities, building resilience against emerging health threats and foster the growth of innovative health ecosystem. So the white paper aims to ensure that all communities, regardless of their socioeconomic status or geographic location, have fair access to quality healthcare. Recognizing the lesson from the recent global health crisis, the policy emphasized building a more robust system capable of responding effectively to future challenges. Notably, the objectives of Health White Paper are closely aligned with the World Health Organization 13 General Programme of Work, where it underscores the shared commitment to promoting good health and well-being for all, advancing gender equality within the health outcome, reducing health inequality, next fostering peace, justice, and strong institutions in health government, and lastly building the robust partnership for achieving the collective health goal. Next, we have Perka B40, which addressing the healthcare needs of low-income groups. So, the scheme Peduli Kesihatan for this B40, an initiative undergo the Ministry of Health, which is designed to meet the unique healthcare needs of low-income groups. So it offers a range of relevant benefits to eligible communities, including free health screening, where it facilitates early detection of non-communicable disease and their risk factors which are prevalent among B40 group. In addition to that, it also provides medical device assistance which provide the financial support for essential medical device up to significant amount to alleviate their financial burdens. Next, it also has incentive for completing cancer treatment, which offer the financial encouragement to ensure patients complete their vital cancer treatment regimen that is crucial for improved outcome. And lastly, transport incentive, which alleviate logistical and financial barriers by providing assistance for travel to and from the government hospital for the treatment. So these benefits directly enhance the accessibility and affordability of healthcare for the B40 population, aligning with the broader equity goals of the health white paper and ensuring that financial constraints do not impede the access to the essential care. Next, a cornerstone for this Malaysia Current Health Policy Framework is the Rakan KKM initiative. So, this strategic policy aims to achieve several critical objectives, which is first, ensuring the affordable healthcare access for the B40 group by establishing a robust support system. It can address the financial barriers often faced by the bottom 40% income demographic, guaranteeing them better access to essential healthcare service. Next is also improve healthcare worker retention, which the initiative incorporates measures to enhance the worker satisfaction and reduce attrition, thereby strengthening the overall healthcare workforce. And lastly, increasing the investment in public healthcare. So Rakan KKM actively seeks to attract and integrate private investment into the public healthcare sector. So this collaborative approach is crucial for sustaining funding and also infrastructure development, ultimately maintaining affordability for the broader community. So next slide, beyond direct policy intervention, Malaysia is strategically leveraging technology to transform healthcare delivery. So this includes the digitalization of healthcare policy, which represents a significant step forward. So this initiative aligns with the global trend, which is by integrating the digital technologies, Malaysia is keeping pace with international advancement in healthcare, particularly in areas like telemedicine, health information system, and also data analytics. It also enhances efficiency and accessibility, where the digital solutions are known critical for streamlining administrative processes, improving patient pathway, and also expanding access to healthcare services, especially in remote or underserved areas. So, this policy also addresses mental health challenges, where the specific focus of this policy is through application of digital tools to tackle the mental health issues and increasingly pertaining concern, which particularly among the younger demographic. So next, while governmental policy form the backbone of our healthcare system, the contribution of non-governmental organizations are indispensable. So organizations such as Mental Illness Awareness and Support Association of MIASA and also National Cancer Society of Malaysia and CSM play a vital role. So their contributions are multifaceted, which include providing education as well as awareness. So these NGOs are at the forefront of disseminating vital health information and also raising community awareness about various conditions. Next, they also provide patient care and support. So they provide essential direct support service, resources, and care networks for the patient and their families, often complementing the public healthcare service. They also include advocacy and also community engagement, where it helps in advocating for patient rights and fostering a more informed and supportive community environment. So, in summary, Malaysia's approach to healthcare reform is comprehensive and multi-pronged, where we can see through the Visionary Health White Paper, targeted supports programs like PERKA B40 and Rakan KKM, the strategic embrace of digitalization, and invaluable partnership with NGO. So Malaysia is actively constructing a more resilient, equitable, and accessible healthcare system. So this integrated strategy is crucial for addressing both the immediate and long-term health needs of its diverse population, ensuring a healthier future for all. So for next slide, we are going to look at the 5 previous read articles. So from this article, I want to highlight some key findings that is directly related to our research. So first article, which is health literacy and relationship with mental health and quality of life in freshman students. So this article highlights that students with adequate health literacy and also comprehension often reside in urban areas with middle economic status, suggesting a link between accessibility to health-related knowledge and socio-economic factors. So this underscores the importance of initiatives like PERKA B40 and Rakan KKM in addressing health equity. Next article, which is health status and lifestyle habits of US medical students. So this article provides an interesting insight into the health profile of the medical students. So the study found a relatively healthy BMI distribution among the medical students, which is particularly positive. Finding includes prevalence of elevated BMI in this group, and it is reported that the elevated BMI is lower than the 30.3% reported among young adults in the United States. So this suggests that on average, these students are maintaining a healthy weight range. However, when the study looked at the physical fitness, it identified that there is a decline in both muscular endurance and aerobic capacity among medical students at the university. So this is quite concerning, especially because the finding contrast with the previous research, which often indicated that medical students actually had higher levels of physical activity compared to their age-matched peers in the general population. So this suggests a potential shift or a specific challenge within this particular group. So moving on to dietary habits, so this study observed that participants generally maintain their carbohydrate, protein and fat consumption within acceptable macronutrient distribution range. So this aligns with prior research such as the one that is cited by Ghana Segaram and colleagues, which found that most medical student diet meet national guidelines. However, there was a significant concern which includes sodium intake consistently exceeding the American Heart Association recommended daily limits of 1,500 to 2,300 milligram. So this is area that definitely needs attention. And interestingly, when the study asked to students to self-rate their overall health, so the student in this study consistent with previous research reported a very positively because they perceived themselves as having good physical health and reported a low incidence of actual poor physical health. However, beneath that positive physical health perception, the study reveals a significant concern which include higher frequency of poor mental health. So students reported a median of 3 days per month experiencing poor mental health throughout their medical school journey. This increased prevalence is likely associated with the immense stress inherent in medical education, including from intense academic pressure, mounting and also mounting financial concern, and to navigating significant life events during demanding period. So finally, from a research article done among 300 medical students responding at a private medical school in Lahore, Pakistan. So the majority of the respondents, which covered 62.3%, reported maintaining a fairly healthy lifestyle. Adding to that, another 30.7% actually exhibited a truly healthy lifestyle. This means only a small proportion of just 7% were found to have unhealthy habits. So one of the most significant challenges medical students consistently reported is a sheer lack of time. So this directly impacts their ability to engage in a physical exercise and maintain a balanced diet. So beyond time, stress is an enormous factor where a comparable study conducted at the Aga Khan University in Pakistan revealed that a staggering 90% of medical students experience stress, which negatively affect their lifestyle choices as well as academic performance. So they also found that a higher proportion of female students, which include 22.3%, reported practicing a healthy lifestyle compared to their males. So this aligned with previous research. Interestingly, the study also they didn't observe a clear decline in physical activity levels as the student progressed through their 5 years of medical school. So, and while most students possess a solid basic knowledge of what constitutes a healthy lifestyle, the research highlighted a crucial point, translating that knowledge into consistent daily practice remained a significant challenge. So this reinforced the importance of not just providing information but also creating supportive environment and addressing practical barriers to healthy behavior, which is a key aim of health white paper focused on health promotions.
Okay, for the fourth article, which is by Rakan KKM or Kementerian Kesihatan Malaysia, this article is introduced by the Ministry of Health Malaysia itself. It promotes volunteerism among youth, among young people to support public healthcare services. And in this program, it helps raise awareness and also educate the public on healthy living through campaign, also a lot of outreach programs. It also makes healthcare services become more affordable and accessible, especially for communities who cannot afford a private treatment. Overall, in this particular article, it supports healthy lifestyles by encouraging youth or young people involvement and also promotes health education publicly. Okay. Next, we're going to discuss on the fifth article, which is from the Malaysia Digital Health. This article is actually from the International Trade Administration, which discuss about the rise of the digital health in Malaysia. This includes like mobile health apps, promotion, telemedicine services, and also electronic medical records. This tool helps students especially to track their health, to help in their managing appointments, also to help to access professional medical advices more easily. And by making health information more accessible, these technologies encourage students to take a better care of their health. Last but not least, for the last article, which is the youth advocacy, this article is from UNICEF. It focuses on how youth in Malaysia, how young people in Malaysia are taking part in leading, in promoting mental health, clean environment, and also healthier lifestyle in Malaysia. It shows how students are becoming more active in campaigns and also community-based activities and programs. The article also emphasizes more on the importance of peer support, which helps students in general to stay involved and motivated and also consistent in making healthy choices. This proves that youth can be powerful agents to change and to create a healthier society, especially in our beloved country, Malaysia.
Next, we will continue with Chapter 3, which is Research Methodology. The first one is Respondent of the Study. The second one is Research Instrument. The third one is Research Procedure. And lastly, the Data Analysis. The first one is Respondent of the Study. The survey is conducted among students at University Kuala Lumpur, Royal College of Medicine Perak, UniKL RCMP. It covers all the courses in UniKL RCMP, which are Bachelor of Physiotherapy with Honour, Bachelor of Pharmacy with Honour, Bachelor in Pharmaceutical Technology with Honour, Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery, Bachelor of Nursing with Honour, Bachelor of Science in Psychology with Honour, Diploma in Nursing, Diploma in Pharmacy, Diploma in Physiotherapy, Diploma in Medical Imaging, and Foundation in Medical Science. The target population is all UniKL RCMP students aged 18 years and above. Next is Research Instrument. The study was a cross-sectional study on healthy lifestyle practice among UniKL RCMP students. It is conducted via an online questionnaire on Microsoft Form. It started with the survey information part, followed by the informed consent statement and the questionnaire. The survey is fully written in English. Respondent identity remain anonymous and all personal information will be kept confidential. The part of the questionnaire are consent, demographic information of the participant, knowledge of healthy lifestyle practice, practice of healthy lifestyle among participants, and lastly, attitude on healthy lifestyle practice. Next is research procedure. The form is distributed online to all students via social media of all courses for approximately 1 month, starting from 16th of April until 15th of May 2025. We confirm the participant met the criteria by asking relevant questions such as their courses and years of study. Upon completion, the result will be collected for data analysis. Lastly, data analysis. The data collected is later inserted into Microsoft Excel to undergo descriptive analysis. The data will then later be analyzed to form pie charts and other tables and figures to analyze the frequency and percentage of each answer.
Now, moving on to Chapter 4 findings. First of all, we'll take a look for the demographic information. Figure 1A illustrates the gender distribution of the respondents. It shows that the majority of the respondents were female, accounting for 70%, while males represented 30% of the total. Figure 1B displays the age distribution of the respondents. The largest proportion of respondents is 72% fell within the 21 to 24 age group. The 18 to 20 age group constituted 27% of the respondents, and a small minority, 1%, were in the 25 to 27 age group. Figure 1C shows the distribution of respondents across various academic courses. The Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery, or MBBS, it is a program that had the highest number of respondents with a total of 68. This was followed by the Bachelor of Pharmacist with honor with 12 respondents. Other courses such as the Diploma in Medical Imaging, Diploma in Pharmacy, and Bachelor of Physiotherapy each had 4 respondents. Meanwhile, in the Bachelor in Pharmaceutical Technology and the Diploma in Physiotherapy, each recorded 2 respondents. Finally, courses like the Bachelor of Science in Psychology, like Diploma in Nursing, Bachelor of Nursing Science, and Foundation in Medical Science had only 1 respondent each. For Figure 1D, it illustrates the distribution of respondents across different academic years. The highest number of respondents were in Year 2 with a total of 72. This was followed by Year 1 with 14 respondents. Year 3 had 6 respondents, while both Year 4 and Year 5 had just 1 respondent each. And Figure 1E presents the distribution of respondents across different academic semesters. The largest group of respondents was in Semester 4 with 25 individuals. Semester 2 followed with 9 respondents. Then came Semester 5 and Semester 6 with 4 respondents each. Semester 3 had 3 respondents, while Semester 1 had the fewest with only 2 respondents. Moreover, Table 1 shows the responses of 100 participants to the statement. All 100 participants, that's 100%, is selected true, and none of them, or 0%, selected false. Figure 2 shows the responses of 100 participants to the statement. 95 participants, or 95%, selected true, while 5 participants, or 5%, selected false. Then, Figure 3 shows the responses of 100 participants to the statement. 92 participants, or 92%, selected true, while 8 participants, or 8%, selected false. Figure 4 shows the responses of 100 participants to the statement regarding the minimum recommended duration of physical activity per day for adults. The majority of participants, 70 or 70%, recommended 30 minutes as the minimum duration. Meanwhile, 14 participants, or 14%, recommended 1 hour. 10 participants, or 10%, chose 20 minutes, and the remaining 6 participants, or 6%, considered 10 minutes as the minimum recommended duration of physical activity per day for adults. Figure 5 shows the distribution of respondents' ranking of barriers to adopting a healthy lifestyle. Lack of time was most frequently ranked as the top barrier, receiving 41 first-choice votes. This was followed by academic pressure with 22 first-choice votes. On the other hand, poor access to healthy food options was most commonly ranked as the least significant barrier with 38 fourth-choice votes. Financial constraints and academic pressure followed with 22 and 24 fourth-choice votes respectively. And that's all for knowledge part. Now moving on to practice part. Figure 6 illustrates whether respondents regularly practice physical exercises. The data shows that the majority of the respondents, 71%, answered yes, indicating that they regularly engage in physical exercise. Conversely, 29% of the respondents answered no, suggesting they do not regularly practice physical exercises. For the next question, Figure 1 illustrates how often respondents engage in moderate to vigorous physical activity per week, such as jogging, brisk walking, or gym workouts. The most frequent response was 1 to 2 times a week with 33 respondents. This was closely followed by less than once a week with 30 respondents and 3 to 4 times a week with 29 respondents. A small number of participants reported never engaging in such activities. Just 5 respondents, while only 3 respondents said they exercised 5 or more times a week. Next, Figure 8 illustrates how often respondents eat meals each day. The overwhelming majority, 76 respondents, reported eating 2 to 3 meals per day. 18 respondents indicated they eat 1 meal daily, while 6 respondents reported eating 3 to 4 meals a day. Notably, no respondents reported eating 4 meals or more. However, a small group of 3 respondents indicated eating 5 or more meals a week. Next, Figure 9 illustrates the typical portion size per meal reported by respondents. The overwhelming majority, 67 respondents, reported eating a moderate portion size per meal. This was followed by 15 respondents who indicated they eat small portions and 13 respondents who reported eating large portions. A smaller group of 4 respondents reported eating very small portions. Notably, only one respondent reported eating very large portions. Lastly, for practice section, Figure 10 illustrates how often respondents monitor their weight. The majority of respondents, 46, reported monitoring their weight once a month. Every day was the next most common frequency, chosen by 70 respondents. Few times a week and once a week were also reported by 12 and 11 respondents respectively. A smaller group of 9 respondents monitored their weight once a year, while 5 respondents indicated they never monitored their weight. Now we arrive to the last section, attitude. Figure 11 illustrates respondents' perceptions regarding healthy lifestyles, academic goals, and their ability to incorporate healthy habits. In response to the question, how important do you believe maintaining a healthy lifestyle is to achieve your academic goals? The overwhelming majority of respondents, 52, selected strongly agree, with another 43 respondents choosing agree. Only 4 respondents selected neither agree nor disagree. Next is question 2. This figure shows how respondents rank different aspects in order of priority during busy academic periods, with 1 being the highest priority and 4 the lowest. Studying and academics is overwhelmingly ranked as the top priority, with 76 respondents selecting it as their first choice. Sleep follows as the next highest priority, which 19 respondents ranked it first, and the significant 42 respondents placed it as their second choice. Healthy eating is mostly considered a third priority, with 47 respondents ranking it third, and only 3 respondents ranking it as their top priority. Exercise is most frequently ranked as the lowest priority, with 63 respondents choosing it as their fourth choice, and just 2 respondents consider it their first choice. So next question, this figure shows whether respondents believe their health directly affects their academic success, and overwhelming majority, 95%, answered yes, indicating they believe there is a direct impact. Only 5% answered no, suggesting they do not perceive a direct link between their health and academic performance. Furthermore, this figure explores whether respondents believe they can incorporate healthy habits into their routine despite their workload. A substantial majority, 84%, responded yes, believing they can integrate healthy habits. Meanwhile, 16% answered no, suggesting they find it challenging to adopt such habits given their academic responsibility. Last but not least, this figure presents respondents' attitudes on maintaining a healthy lifestyle while studying. The largest group, made up of 62 respondents, felt that maintaining a healthy lifestyle would be challenging but possible. 31 respondents expressed confidence in their ability to maintain a healthy lifestyle, while a smaller group of 7 were unsure if they could do so. So that's all for the finding, chapter 4.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Novahana binti Abdul Rahman, and I'll be continuing on the discussion part for this research. So I'll be discussing more deeply into 3 questions for each segment, and the first segment is knowledge. As you can see from the screen, there are 3 different questions that we chose because we actually want to test 3 different things from the students. And the first one, we ask about definition because we want to know whether the student actually understand the concept of health risk behavior. And second, we want to know whether the student actually know the recommended value for a certain activity, or do they just do it according to themselves. And the third one is we want to know whether they are aware of the negative impact of not practicing a healthy lifestyle practice. Okay, now let's look at the chart that actually represents the health literacy of the students. So from the findings, we observe that the students scores a very high mark in each of the keyword, with 100% understanding the concept, 92% know the recommended value, and 70% are aware of the negative impact of lack of sleeping. And this result actually suggests that UniKL RCMP students have a strong foundation and understanding of what is called a healthy lifestyle principle. The reason for these findings might be due to their academic backgrounds and environment, where due to the nature of their courses, they are expected to understand this concept as part of their curriculum. And because the things that they are studying, so they are more exposed, so they have more exposure towards it, and because they are surrounded by well-educated lecturer, well-educated friends that can help guide them to live a certain way. They can help advise them whenever they do something that is risky. And these findings is actually supported by studies done by Alina Jatilaki 2025 and Nepal 2024. Okay, so for practice, we chose these 3 different questions, in which the first one we asked, do they actually do the exercise? It's a yes or no question. So if yes, how often do they do it? What is the frequency per week? And then we also asked about about the diet, because to maintain a healthy BMI, it's not only about doing physical activity, but also controlling how much you eat. So do they undereat? Do they do binge eating? So we want to see that. Okay, so what I can actually discuss from practice is that despite a majority of students having good awareness of a healthy lifestyle practice, the reported behaviors actually show mixed consistency. So look at here, 71% of them say that they regularly exercise, but only 3% of them do exercise 5 or more times per week, which is the standard or the recommended amount that you should do per week. So there's a little bit of contradiction here of what they think they are doing versus what they are actually doing. So also they might be doing regular exercise, but not up to par, not following the recommended amount. And this might be due to the time constraint, academic pressure that cause them to abandon their health, especially in the time of stress, in the time of exam. And the limitation of this survey is that this survey is collected during the times when students are preparing for final, most of them. So the reported behaviors might actually shows their behavior at the times instead of their normal behavior. Okay, so look at the 3%. So 3% of them reported that they eat 5 or more times of meals per day. And this is actually quite a lot. But I do wonder if this 3% is actually come from those that report they are doing exercise for 5 or more times per day. I mean, this 3% might be the one that are actually doing a much more vigorous exercise. And that hasn't been factored into our study, like what type of exercise are they doing, and like the total amount of hours they are spending each day. So they might be eating more because of that. So the findings are actually supported by Nepal 2024 and Brand 2016. So from Nepal article, they actually reported their findings to be only 10.7% engaged in regular exercise, which is same like us. The minority amount actually do the exercise. despite they are aware of the benefits of a healthy lifestyle practice. Okay, so for attitude, we choose these three different questions because we want to test the mindset, the belief, and also the perception of the students towards healthy lifestyle practice. Okay, so what I want to discuss from attitude is that generally the students have good attitudes towards a healthy lifestyle practice, with 95% of them believe that their health directly affects their academic success, and 84% of them believe that they can incorporate healthy habits into their routine despite their workload. But this doesn't actually equal to them taking action or practicing it. Because as we have discussed earlier, the one that is actually engaging in regular exercise is the minority. And this happens, this attitude, they have good attitude, but they don't practice it. Might be because of the academic demands that I have mentioned earlier. And also the reason why they have this good belief is because of their awareness, their surrounding, like what we have discussed in knowledge, because they are exposed to it. That's why they have positive attitude towards it. And we ask during busy periods what is being most prioritized and disprioritized, and 76% of them reported that studying is actually being most prioritized and exercise is actually being the least prioritized. And this shows the mindset, also shows the workload and the reality of the students here in UniKL RCMP. And the findings are actually supported by Sun 2024 and Reshitnikov 2020. Okay, so for the conclusion, it shows that the student actually have a strong knowledge of healthy lifestyle principle, a positive attitude towards it, but their practice might fall short a little. And this actually shows that health awareness alone is not enough to motivate them to do a healthy action. So in Zhang article, it also shows the contradiction in health awareness and their lifestyle choices. So the recommendation that can be given for those that are doing their future research, they can do a larger and diverse sample, not only students from healthcare related studies, but also students from other studies not specific to health, because they might have low awareness but better lifestyle balance because of the different workloads. So we don't know yet. We can test on that, and then we can those that are doing future research can see whether if the institutional policies shape the health outcomes of the students. So maybe by providing a healthier food options, shorter classes in between might help students to improve their healthy lifestyle. So not only actually fixing the students, but also try to improve the system around them. And then it is recommended to use a longer study design to observe the changes of habit of the students over time and see the moment that the practice strengthened and the moment that it declined. See the external factors that affect it, so that the study will be more accurate. And then for like if there is anything that our government could do is actually I recall that there was a time when the government used to do a national program called Satu Murid Satu Sukan. So actually maybe in the future the government can hold another national programs and support the students to actually engage in this practice. So there's a saying that if you don't study, you may not love it. In Melayu lah, tak kenal maka tak cinta. So if the government starts implementing this program, so the students might start to exercise and might start to love it even after the programs has ended. So another recommendation that can be given to the government or maybe institutional is that they can ask the institution itself can ask for more funding from the government, right? And then they can spend that money for funding sports equipment. So I think that's all from me and from us. Thank you.